Bell once said, "The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference." This is also the root of the world's biggest problems. Hunger is the result of indifference to the poor. Ecological breakdown is the result of indifference to the environment. Divorce and abortion are consequences of indifference to the needs of children and family. War is the result of indifference to each other. So indifference is the most pressing problem because it ignores the needs of others and it fails to acknowledge the inherent dignity in each person. Love is the only thing that can cure the hurts of the world because love's opponent, indifference, causes them. Mother Teresa sums this up quite nicely. There is a terrible hunger for love. We all experience that in our lives, the pain and loneliness. We must have courage to recognize it. The poor you may have right in your own family. Find them, love them. Of course, it's easy to say that you love your family and that you love the world, and so far it hasn't changed anything. But love is not merely a feeling. It's an action that aims at the greatest good for others. Love is a conscious decision to care about and do something for others, truly placing others' needs ahead of one's own. Looking into our own families, the most basic social institution, we know that indifference can warp our understanding of love. When we let selfishness overcome our desire to help others, the family becomes dysfunctional. When we find such indifference in our own homes, we shouldn't be surprised that it is a major problem in the world, for these dysfunctional families make up a community, and several dysfunctional communities constitute a town. At this point, the indifference starts to build up so that states, nations, and the world is built on indifference. The world is made up of a series of microcosms, the most basic of which is the family. So to counteract indifference in the world, we must begin by loving and serving our family. Beyond the family, authentic love is action that gets us out into the community, serving our fellow humans and the earth we share. We learn invaluable lessons from service, for it gives us practice in self-denial and tending to the needs of others. If indifference is the world's most pressing problem, then service is the best way to teach people love. It starts by finding a need in your community and helping with something you care about. I coordinated a mentoring program during the summer at a local youth center, and I learned much about the world through the eyes of the kids I worked with. Many come from families who don't know how to love, and my goal was to model love for them by showing them dignity and respect. I find that the volunteer often benefits more from service than those he serves. This work has helped me improve my communication skills, leadership qualities, and teamwork. And in working with others, I unconsciously teach them similar lessons. There is a powerful link between service and education. Experiential learning can be taken out of one's immediate community as well. This helps widen one's perspective and helps you realize the needs of other peoples with whom we share the world. On my recent trip to Haiti, I met Mr. Franklin and two of his sons. On shaking his hand, I recognized the dignity of his person despite his poverty. Because of this human connection, I returned home committed to serving our sister parish in Chateau, Haiti. I presented our trip to the parish, and by the grace of God, someone donated $6,000 to build a house for the Franklin family. But this $6,000 did not come from seeing the news, reading books, or learning on the internet. My heart had to be invested in their lives in order to initiate the change that helped the Franklins form a new life. My work with the Haiti Outreach Committee has helped me discover many of my own strengths and weaknesses and has expanded my worldview. You see, community service is learning. It is perhaps the most important form of learning because it allows us to make an emotional connection with our education. It puts education into context, not learning for learning's sake, but learning for the purpose of making a difference in the world. And in loving others through service, we chip away at the indifference that so inhibits us from greatness.